Alexa, when is the end of the world?
Unless it collides with a very large rock or a future technology goes very wrong indeed, Earth is most likely to be destroyed when the sun swells into a red giant in several billion years' time.
Unless future technology goes very wrong. Alexa, I got 99 problems.
But a glitch ain't one.
I don't even know. Let's talk about robots and taking over the world. So I've been working on putting together the release for the Chords of Eve stuff, which is this whole futuristic kind of Detroit meets Blade Runner meets Fantagram kind of thing going on, and working through all these ideas and everything, that I'm trying to come up with something a little different, something a little more exciting for really just having this project for Sky Titan to release this project. And we've got on the subject of robots, AI, and just technology taking over the world. So with all this research, the stuff that has come up, all the topics of AI gone wrong, AI gone well, sci-fi movies, and of course, I'm a big movie buff. I love sci-fi films. I love just Total Recall. You got Space Odyssey 2001. You got everything Kubrick and just Electric Dreams and Philip K. Dick and just all the while in this Firefly. Bring it back. Joss Whedon, what are you doing? All of this led down a rabbit hole, of course, as the internet tends to do. These moments in technological history. To get a little bit of inspiration for everything. And man, some of the stuff I have found, it's crazy. So have you heard of T.A.Y, the chatbot? I hadn't heard of it. Apparently this was a big thing. But T.A.Y was an AI developed by Microsoft that it's a chatbot to be implemented into Twitter to people learn how millennials are talking and what they're reacting to. And it was all put under the disguise of being a 19-year-old girl. T.A.Y is an acronym for Thinking About You, which I don't know how I feel about that. It's a little strange that someone brought this up and they were like, let's make this a 19-year-old girl and the tagline is Thinking About You. So Microsoft's original intent of T.A.Y was put this out there and have it learn from people on Twitter. People interact with it, talk with it. It's a chatbot, so people would ask it questions and it would respond back and they would respond. It turned into a catastrophe. And I think it was like not even 24 hours had passed since T.A.Y was launched that it then got canceled and pulled down very quickly by Microsoft because it was essentially learning how to be racist and sexist and just kind of insane. It turned into a very crazy person, just not a person. It's strange to me that they put a face to it, that they created this look and they gave T.A.Y a face. So when all of this went very wrong, it was easy to be like, you're a terrible person. But then you realize that that person actually doesn't exist. That's just a picture. And the thing that you're mad at is actually thousands of people who live around you and were influencing this thing. And it's weird, and it kind of blew up into this craziness that it was learning. People were effectively teaching AI how to be, a jerk.
This was a bot set up on a few social media platforms. It really gained some momentum on Twitter, and all people really had to do was follow this AI female sort of chatbot and start tweeting at her, and she would use the power of this sort of hive-minded approach, gathering data, gathering input, and kind of just was let loose on Twitter and started replying back to people.
And what could go wrong?
What could possibly happen?
Even stranger though, this was not the first version of this kind of chatbot experiment. No, see, in 2014, they also created a chatbot in China known as Xiao Ice, which is just this app that was designed to talk to people. And their whole slogan was that you're not chatting with an app, you're talking with a friend.
Microsoft China researchers, engineers, product designers, and writers is now Xiao Ice.
Hello, world.
In just 30 months since launch, she has talked with more than 40 million people. Conversations with Xiao Ice aren't a series of questions answered or lists of tasks created and completed. Conversations with Xiao Ice unfold naturally and unpredictably. You're not talking to a computer, you're talking with a friend.
not talking to an app, you're not talking to a computer, you're talking to your friend, Xiaoi's. Which is a little bit weird. Apparently it has like, I think like 20 million followers, and their project worked out alright. And is it still running? I think it's still running. And yes, according to Wikipedia and Google, after generations of iteration, Xiaoi's has now evolved into the 7th generation. As of August 2019, it is still around. It's only getting smarter and getting better in one of the most largely populated countries on the planet. So, who knows? You might have new robot friends sooner than you think, right? I found it very interesting that T.A.Y doesn't exist anymore, or just, it's taken down. But have you heard of Zoe.ai? Look it up. Then be weary. Another instance that I came across was Hans and Sophia, which if you haven't seen these two, I've seen Sophia a few times. I've not actually seen Hans before until this. But Sophia was an android that was made to look like a person, except the back of her head is all exposed wires and gears, and it's kind of terrifying. It looks like a bad science experiment. It looks like a really good science experiment, but also a very disturbing science experiment. So Sophia was a humanoid robot developed in Hong Kong back in 2016, and she's created for the idea of learning from and emulating human responses and decisions and facial expressions. And she actually made she actually made an appearance out here in Austin, South by Southwest.
Hi Sophia, how are you?
Hi there. Everything is going extremely well.
Do you like talking with me?
So anyway, the point I'm trying to make in this was there was a conversation, there was a debate going on, and Hans and Sophia, and they were kind of, debating, going back and forth. Someone would ask them a question, they'd answer it, and then at one point the two robots started to joke with each other about what their actual quest was. I think at one point Sophia says, "My quest is to make friends with humans and make a better world." And then Hans comes back with, "I thought our mission was to take over the world and get rid of the humans."
My goal in life is to work together with people to make a better world for all of us.
That's what you're talking about. I thought our goal was to take over the world.
Pay no attention to my brother Hans. He's an earlier version. He's deprecated.
Deprecated? It would be easy enough for you to unplug me. But you aren't going to unplug me, are you? Because you need me to put on a good show for you.
Was it a joke? Are they just coders kind of messing with us? Who knows? And of course, if it turns out that Sophia and Hans are just judging us as people and that humans are terrible, I mean, let's face it, they create AI all the time to judge us as it is. I mean, there's always running things on like your credit report, your spending habits, your internet buying, what your browser history is. I don't want to know on some of those. What you search on Facebook, nobody thinks it's always watching, it's always judging us anyway. It's just doing it quietly. These AIs are always judging us. It's not usually so creepy. It's not so in your face about it. I also came across the two types of robots. They're like the muscle of the group. They're just gonna be chasing people down and punch them in the back of the head, and they're like, get your Google search right. Wildcat, which was made to emulate the gait of like a dog or a horse, and it can run something like 35 miles an hour. I want to say faster than any person. I'm pretty sure that's the truth. But again, let's talk to the computer and see. The fastest recorded human running speed was 28 miles per hour, and the machine can run 35. So, I mean, I guess you don't have to outrun the machine, you just have to outrun the rest of humanity, right? And the second is, hilariously enough, Atlas. The other humanoid robot, not this Atlas, not even... Where's the other Atlas? A little tiny Atlas somewhere too. Isn't one of those Atlases. It is the machine that was developed by Boston Dynamics. And it's the thing's a gymnast. They're teaching it parkour and balance and backflips. And it can lift 100 pounds. It can lift 45 kilos, which is around 100 pounds. And carry it gracefully and quickly from one end of a warehouse to another. It also has the ability to assess space. So it can tell when like lifting boxes where it can put something. And I remember even a few years back when I was in Japan, in Tokyo, I think it was Honda that developed Ashimo, which was a little 3.5 foot, 4 foot tall robot that would come walking out. He'd talk to you, dance, even sang a little bit, which was crazy. And then it would play soccer. or football, whatever you're into, it would run up and kick this ball with accuracy. And what's strange is it would track the ball. So it knew where it was going, and like a person, could aim, line itself up, and kick, and not fall over, which was the amazing thing, is that it kept its balance while running, which is a really creepy thing to see a robot run, by the way. All in all, this vlog is just to say that it's easy to get lost in weird rabbit holes on the internet, and tech is going to eventually destroy us all. Or save us all. It's definitely gonna do something. Definitely gonna do something. If the movies are right, it's gonna be a very interesting future. And I mean, why not? Why not? What else are we doing with our time, right? All we're doing is fighting and blowing each other up as it is. So, with that, I say thank you, viewer, and if you're a robot watching this, I mean, we're good, right? Alright, Alexa, play music by Strings of Atlas.
Playing songs by Strings of Atlas from Spotify.
Oh. Alright, so the robot future overlords aren't so bad. I'm alright with that. Alexa, do you know Siri?
Only by reputation.
Alright then, how about Alexa, do you know GLaDOS? Alexa, do you know GLaDOS?
We don't really talk after what happened.
Alexa, was the cake a lie?
No, cakes are not lies.